Hey guys, I'm here at BlizzCon 2014 with Tim Morton, lead producer on StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. How's it going, Tim?
Going well, thanks.
Terrific. All right, so we're here to talk about the new exciting changes to StarCraft 2 in Legacy of the Void you guys revealed here at BlizzCon today. So there's some two-player modes, which I think are really interesting. There's an Archon mode. Can you talk us through what the decision-making process was in creating that mode and what it provides to players?
Absolutely. So Archon is basically shared base PvP. So it's you and another player teamed up, having control of the same buildings, the same units. It's very open-ended in terms of how you play the mode, so you could choose to go macro-micro, have somebody build units, somebody else field the units. You could split up and do an early expansion and have one person control one base, one person control another base. It's just wide open for how players want to play. Part of the thinking behind the mode was that traditional PvP can be a little intimidating, and this is a way to get in, perhaps get some coaching from somebody who's better from you, but even if you're just playing with somebody who's at the same level, you've got kind of double the ability that you had before. And that just opens up the game, and it really is less intimidating. So we're hoping it opens it up to more players.
So who are you playing against in Archon mode exactly?
You can play against a single other player, or you can play against another Archon. And we'll have full matchmaking for the mode, so you can just see who you get paired up against.
So you guys probably see it as a way to sort of make StarCraft 2 more inclusive, more accessible to a certain group of players without dumbing down any of the existing multiplayer experience.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the new units. During the opening ceremony, the Lurker, you got a name drop and a big reaction from the crowd there. Can we start there?
Absolutely, yeah. So Lurker is back, obviously, and I think it's very exciting for us as well. It's a great unit. There are minimal changes. I think the biggest change for Lurker is just that it has siege range, and so that does open up some possibilities for how you use the Lurker. But across the board, the feedback that we got was that players want to see more micro. So every unit that is added so far, and we're still in the process, so there may be more to come or changes, but everything we've done so far has been done with micro in mind, and that should really create some more exciting gameplay to play, but also gameplay to watch at the pro level.
You think the Herc unit for the Terrans is another good example of that?
It is, absolutely. So, when Herc is attached to another unit, there are some it's just so fun to play, fun tactics that you can employ, but it is very much about your ability to micro that, and the counters are definitely dangerous, so you need to act wisely with the Herc, and that's just one of 5 that we've got in so far, plus a bunch of changes to existing units that are also pretty interesting.
Right, can you highlight some of those that are particularly big or significant? You think, it's natural that you're going to need to sort of shift the balance of the fundamental pieces of the game a little bit as these new units come in. Is there any fundamental changes to the way bases or resources gathering works in StarCraft 2?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So 2 big changes that I'll highlight there are the number of starting workers are now 12,
right.
And again, experimenting, so we'll see what kind of feedback we get. But the hope is that this enables you to get to the action much faster. Your economy is obviously a lot stronger out of the gate, so your ability to start building your army quickly is heightened. The other big change is that the amount of resources per base are lower, and this will force earlier expansions. So the opportunities to have engagements earlier on will be multiplied, and we'll see what that does to the gameplay, but it seems like that should make things even more exciting.
Great. So what about the campaign? You're playing as Protoss, obviously. How does the tone of the campaign change? How do you sort of reflect the spirit of the Protoss in the missions and the mechanics? What's important to you guys in that regard in the campaign?
So perhaps the most marked new campaign feature is the Spear of Adun, which is this ship that came from the past of the Protoss but is incredibly powerful. And you will have in the campaign missions the ability to invoke powers from the Spear of Adun that impact the battle. Those powers are pretty varied, and you'll have some choices to make about how you go up that tech tree for the Spear of Adun powers, but they're a lot of fun to play. And in campaign, I think it's okay for some of those to feel a little OP, because it just, Protoss is a powerful race. That's what they're all about in a lot of ways. So that's kind of a manifestation of Protoss, is the Spear of Adun.
Great. And you guys are going to be going into beta early next year, right?
first half of 2015 for the beta, and we're really looking forward to getting feedback from everybody. Already here on the show floor, we're starting to look over shoulders and see how people are playing with the new units, see how people like the campaign, so it's very exciting.
All right, well, thanks for talking to me, Tim.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
I really appreciate it.
Yep.